Do you ever have to deal with difficult people online? Do you know what I'm talking about? I think you do, right? I mean, all of us, we get online, we're commenting on someone's post. Maybe you've posted something yourself, and then this person comes online and has something intense to say, something derogatory to say. They're challenging you. Maybe they're directly calling you bad names. Whatever it is, we've all had these interactions with these difficult people online. And I wanted to just take a minute and talk about how I deal with it personally and see if that's of any use to you. There are people online who have to comment on your comment, who have to comment on your post. They've just got to say something each and every time. And for a lot of us, for me, it just takes the fun out of being online. The first thing to know, obviously, is whatever the difficult person is saying, they're not saying it about you. It's got nothing to do with you. The difficult person, as you've seen, actually has no interest in your point of view, no interest in your perspective. It's all about them. They've got to repeat their point of view. They have to repeat their perspective. They have to repeat their party line. They have to give you their pitch again and again for whatever it is. For some people, it's, hey, I'm a good person and you're a bad person. And that's a lot of what it is. Sometimes it's like, hey, I don't feel heard, so I'm just going to yell and scream and trample all over what you had to say because I'm trying to get heard myself. But if you find yourself online engaged with a difficult person, you're going back and forth in the comments section, and you don't like that, and you don't want to be there, and you don't like doing the tango, you don't like dancing with this person on the dance floor, the first question I have for you is, why are you on the dance floor in the first place? There is an opportunity here to see that whatever that difficult person is triggering inside of you is your own work, and it's got nothing to do with them. It's like, just consider, just try this on. If that person is saying X, Y, and Z, and they're being nasty, or they're being pushy, or they're dominating, or they're sucking all the airspace out of the conversation, what's going on in your own body, and what's there for you to heal in your own body that would get you to a place of where you can just be this fortress of self-esteem, self-worth, knowing who you are and not relying on anybody else to validate your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and your knowing who you are. So what I'm offering here to you in this short video is, whenever you find yourself triggered by someone online, the first thing to do is to get yourself off the dance floor, stop doing the dance. And then the second thing to notice is where in your own body you're triggered and what's coming up for you. And to own that for yourself, it's like, oof, wow, I'm getting upset, or I'm getting angry, or I'm getting pissed off, or I feel like I'm going to be mean back to that person. That person said something mean and nasty to me. Now I'm going to be mean and nasty. So all of a sudden, you've stepped out of your fortress of self-esteem, self-worth, and knowing, and now you're hemorrhaging your energetic force field. You're kind of over there in that person's seat instead of being here, standing on your own 2 feet, knowing here's who I am, here's what I'm about. So I could go on and on about this for hours. I've actually written a book on this topic. What I want you to get in just a couple minutes here is, when you are finding yourself upset, engaged with someone online who's difficult, what I do is I disengage. And what I mean by disengage is, no, I don't need to run away. I don't need to turn off the computer necessarily, or maybe I do to take a break and then I can come back to it. When I find myself on the dance floor with a difficult person, I notice that I'm on the dance floor and I take myself off. I get myself off the dance floor and I stop dancing with the person. There are difficult people online who I will just never respond to. I just don't respond to them. In fact, there are some difficult people online who will comment on my comment and use my name, and I won't even read their comment. I already know that whatever they're going to say, it might trigger me, might upset me. it's not going to empower me, and I'm not going to have any healthy, empowered response back to them. So there are people online for whom I never read their comments, especially if the comments about me, and I never respond to them. And that's my way of dealing with it, because I want to be someone who can participate in various communities online. I want to be someone who feels like at any point in time I can count on myself to stand up and speak my truth, and I want to continue growing that muscle of being someone who can stand up and speak his truth regardless of whether it's comfortable, regardless of whether everybody agrees and is being nice, or even if there's people out there being difficult. I can still be my true, authentic self and trust that I've built and developed a muscle, a fortress within myself of my own self-worth and my own self-esteem.